People often say that there's nothing new to do in Singapore, that everything's been seen, done and photographed 1,000 times over. But what if the adventure lies not in going further, but in seeing the familiar differently? This time we're following a river and seeing where it takes us, finding out what's along the way and what we can learn about Singapore's history. Welcome to Wonderlust.
We're here at the corner of Hougang Street 22 and Hougang Avenue 3, where there is a drain that kind of kicks out into the open air, and we know that this isn't really strictly the source of the river.
Yeah.
There's a lot of wonderful drainage systems across Singapore, but we've decided to start here at a big drain section that kind of flows into the canal, and we're going to take on the Serangoon River, or Sungai Serangoon, and take it from source to the sea today.
We've only come really a few meters. We were so busy looking like the riverside that we kind of forgot to look the other side. There's a beautiful temple here. There's many across Singapore. They are incredibly beautiful. Like, you are able to go and visit inside them as well. We've been to a few, but I didn't expect to see that here. The colours are incredible. We're not going to go inside it today, but yeah, I wonder what else we're going to spot as we go across this park connector following the river.
There are little groupings of fish over here.
It's funny to think that we're walking along a riverside, because at the moment it still looks a little bit like a drain, to be honest, but these storm drains, for those of you who haven't experienced Singapore before, are enormous, and it looks like a trickle of water down the middle at the moment, but when the rain starts to come it fills up in a massive way, and this is part of the infrastructure that helps the country run really well, but also the rain that comes off all the ground or all the land and into these drains is what feeds into the river. And so yeah, it definitely still feels a little bit like a drain at the moment, but before long it's going to open up into a beautiful river, and I'm looking forward to showing that to you. Along the way we've been able to see smaller drains that are feeding into the bigger drain, and this is the first point that we've encountered where the drain is going under the road. We're actually at a massive crossroads where there's 4 different ways going by. There's maybe 4 or 5 different lanes of traffic across in each direction, and we're crossing diagonally across to be able to get to where the river continues on the other side. Actually, a couple of years ago we were cycling along here on a round island route, and I fell off a curb, arse over tit I think is the phrase they use, and the family were not concerned whatsoever. They just thought it was hilarious, and they just reminisced about that and they thought it was great. So I'm glad that we're able to be here for that moment of humour, but we're going to keep crossing the road now. Under the road somewhere, a few more drains have definitely joined into this, because this is much wider, much more expansive. A lot more water has appeared here from underneath the road, so I wonder where it's coming from. Like I said, it was a crossroads, so I wonder where the water's come from. 2 other areas where the roads have flowed from, where the drainage has come from, and now it's flowing into what is starting to feel a little bit more like a river and a little bit less like a drain. My geography is terrible, and I've just worked out that what was actually underneath the extra bit of river that I was just referring to back then is actually come from Kovan. And I remember walking along the road there one time. I had a friend living in a condo there in the Tembusu, and the river, actually the drain, it felt a lot more like a torrent. It was coming by really, really quickly, and that's what's flowing underneath the road and appearing over here and becoming Sungai Serangoon.
all lining up for like a show or something.
Yeah, it does. It's very funny.
I'm really enjoying walking on the park connectors. I mean, we always love using them, whether we're walking, cycling. The kids have got their scooters today, so they're covering the ground a little bit faster, which is quite nice. I'm enjoying looking at the architecture of the HDBs. The one behind me is the one with the big rainbow painted on it, which is really lovely, and we haven't actually been past that before, so it's kind of nice to kind of spot something a little bit familiar. Yeah, I'm liking looking at all the different architecture of all the different buildings around here. Like, we've just moved into hougang and exploring that area a little bit more. I try and kind of take little routes home a bit different so I can see a little bit more of the area and get like a bit more of a scope for it, because I think we're only in like a really small bit of hougang really, which is from all the comments that there's more of hougang to explore. So yeah, it's nice exploring what is, I guess, still pretty close to our neighbourhood too. We've been out for probably 45 minutes and already Aspen's saying she's hungry. It's only about 11 o'clock, so she's rooting in my bag for some snacks. Well, all I've got is some mints. What have you found?
Eclipse.
Always hungry. If you're a parent of kids, when do they stop eating absolutely everything in your house? Okay, ready?
Yay!
Holding on tight?
We still have a road to the left of me, but to the right, the forest has suddenly kicked in and it's got really, really thick, and actually it's changed the whole atmosphere despite the road being so close, maybe just 10-15 meters away from me on the left hand side. Now the forest on this side is actually starting to teem with the sounds of cicadas and crickets and everything, which has just completely changed, like I said, the atmosphere. And even in the water we're beginning to see more wildlife. We're seeing some terrapins and some bigger fish and a monitor lizard, and it's amazing how quickly the atmosphere and how everything has changed here. Really already feel like we're into nature within just a matter of meters. Interestingly, Wikipedia tells us that this river starts at Tampines Road, where some drains kind of are. That's the crossroads that we were at earlier. That's officially the source of the river. We kind of went a bit behind it, but this is definitely another major tributary, which also starts at Tampines Road, where a river kicks out, which is really interesting. We've realised that it's suddenly, the river's gone really, really wide. It's gone much deeper. And again, we're looking forward to exploring a little bit further. It looks like more trees either side, more nature, and that just is when it becomes really beautiful. The Serangoon River used to be one of the main waterways to bring supplies from Pulau Ubin and from Johor Bahru, and barges filled with supplies, rocks, sand, all sorts of stuff would come down here. Earlier on I couldn't imagine how it would be the case, having read about it. Everything looked too narrow and too shallow, but here all of a sudden you can definitely see how you could imagine all these supplies being brought down here to help build the country, and I think it's just amazing, and it's got so much history in this one little river as well. Looking forward to finding out some more.
Across the river there's these huge black floats, and what they're doing is they're creating a barrier to collect any trash, and then the natural flow of the river will push it down alongside and then into kind of like a collection area, I guess, where it'll be collected. Singapore's really good at clearing out the rivers and the waterways, and you can see there's so much life in here, which is pretty cool. So yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing what more life is along as we go up.
We've been along this way so many times before on our bikes, and I don't think I've ever really paid attention to the river and how it looks. There's this bit behind me where it just looks like the green is coming out all either side of the river, and it just looks wild. It looks like somewhere really in the middle of the rainforest, and I guess it proves what we say about Singapore, that it is a city in a garden or a city in the wild. And I think like it just looks beautiful, and I love that these opportunities that we take to come out and find the wonder in the world, what forces us to be able to see these things that we've never seen before. We've been past them many, many times, but we've never really seen how beautiful it is. And I'd encourage you guys to go out and do exactly the same, or go through the rest of our videos and check out the wonder in our world through those, or both.
It's really lovely actually just exploring along the river in a different way. Like we've cycled through here several times really, haven't we? And we're kind of recognising it, but actually walking through it, you know, we're stopping along the way. The kids have stopped off at a couple of gyms, there's some play parks along the way, and now there's this kind of boardwalk area that you can just kind of sit out, hear the birds and see the river flowing. It flows quite fast actually. Loads of people are using the park connector today, cycling, families. It's really nice community space that's being used here. I think, yeah, it's just really lovely.
I think it's just beautiful, and being here, being able to look out the river, I think the thing I wish I could do is to get on the river, on a paddleboard or on a canoe or something like that, but I think it's restricted here mainly because of it being a reservoir. The whole river is a reservoir, and I think that's important. You know, it's really important for us to make sure we can provide water to the nation, but I do wish that we could do that as well. That would make me really happy. It looks incredibly inviting. I just keep looking over at the water just behind you guys, and yeah, just being able to see the water flowing beautifully. It still looks really smooth and beautiful, and I just know how much joy I'd get from being on the water.
Yeah,
there.
it's very different, you know, next to the water, and then when you're on it, it just gives a whole other feeling.
Yeah, we're actually really close to our home now that we've been walking for a little while, and I didn't realise how close we were to this beauty and nature, and I'm looking forward to spending some time over the next couple of months getting back into running and everything. I've had just a very busy few months, and not had the opportunity to do that as much as I appreciate those opportunities, and so knowing that we've got this to run next to, I think is just going to give me a lot of joy, and I'm looking forward to that. Behind me is the Bangkok flyover. There's traffic over it, although it's fairly quiet at the moment. We've just noticed that the river is really wide here. Just behind where you are is another really wide, filled with water drain that's coming from the Hougang way. If we were to go down that way and follow the drain, follow the canal essentially that's coming from there, we would get to our home, which is really close. But over here the river feels like it widens out all over again, and we're heading in this direction, more towards the sea. We remember the aim today is to get to the sea and to discover everything along the way. We're loving it so far. Let's see what else we can find. We're actually planning on doing this same sort of trip of discovery along a few different rivers in Singapore over the next couple of months, but one of the things I would say about this one is that it's amazing how I think every single step of the way we've been on a park connector, which is a wonderful set of networks that goes all around the island, but they are smooth, they are clean, they're covered in, like you can see, greenery all around me. I also find it interesting that we're right next to a road as well. The road has kind of been built all alongside this river here on the right hand side of me, and it's just beautiful. It's beautiful, such a wonderful area to be, and it's a beautiful day. It is a little bit on the warm side, so the park connector is a bit quieter. I think people have decided to stay in home and in the cool, or maybe in the malls, but it's a really lovely day, and we're loving it very much. I thought I'd just take a moment to cut in from the park connector for a moment onto a pathway within this neighbourhood, which is really beautiful, and there's a big playground here, and I realised it had like British summer holiday park vibes for me, partly because it's warm and the sun's out and it's beautiful, but also just the way that it's so peaceful, it's so quiet out here. There's a beautiful play park here for the kids. And yeah, I just think it's got a really lovely atmosphere here. It would feel like we're on holiday all the time if we lived out here, to be honest. It has become a very hot day. The sun is beating down right now, which is actually really lovely at the same time as really sticky. We're about a 3-minute walk away from our planned lunch stop. Millie and Aspen have just said goodbye to them. They've gone to take a bus back home to take Debbie to the groomer. She needs a haircut. And we've got a groomer who seems to be very popular, so we had to stick with the time we were given, and yeah, they've gone to sort her out, but hopefully they'll be joining us again a little bit further up on this journey. But Milo and I are just going to tackle this sun for about another 3 minutes before we get to somewhere for lunch. Actually, I remember cycling along here maybe about a year ago, and it wasn't ready at all. The pathway hadn't been completed, and it is obviously complete now. And I will say, the reason why I'm saying this is because there's a load of trees that have been planted just to my left here as we walk, and I think in the years to come they'll provide a fantastic, beautiful shaded area. But that last stretch of maybe 200 meters was not shaded at all, and I'm beginning to feel it. Fortunately, there's a bit of shade coming now. Oh, that feels good. Okay, we're good, we're back in the shade. So yeah, I think it's a really, really positive thing that there's been some trees planted here. Looking forward to them growing and just overhanging a little bit more, but we are very, very close to where we're going to stop for some food. Oh no, what happened here?
It looks like I tried to cross the road and I got squished. Yeah. So,
And fried.
And fried. But it still looks quite wet and moist.
I know it's still really, really hot, but just looking out over the side is beautiful, and you get a little breeze off the water, which is lovely. And we're just going to go and have some more food, which is about, I don't know, a minute to go. And it looks like it's shaded, so that's going to be great.
We've been here at this bouldering place before with some friends and we really enjoyed the time having here.
This is a great little area where there's 4 or 5, maybe 6 different great eateries. There's also, as Milo mentioned just now, the bouldering place that we've bouldered at before. There's also a prawning place where we've done the prawning as well. But we're going to stop up here, have a little bit of food before we carry on along the river. Okie dokie, that was a delicious lunch. It was a little bit more expensive than we were anticipating, but it was delicious nonetheless, and we're very happy. Milo and I are well fed and well watered. We actually got myself a coffee, we had 100 plus, and they gave us like water for the table, which is awesome. Filled up my bottle, and we are back on the park connector next to the river, which is fantastic. How was lunch, buddy?
Amazing.
Amazing, I love that. Millie and Aspen have dropped Debbie off at the, noisy birds. They've dropped Debbie off at the groomers, and they're making their way to the end, and then they're going to make their way around to meet us. So hopefully we'll see them again soon as well. But for now, we're back right next to the river and exploring more of Singapore. Millie and I were saying just a little bit earlier that there weren't many bathroom stops along the way or water fill-ups, but now we've just reached one just after we filled up my bottle at the restaurant. So there are some along the way. I think just be aware that up until this point, I think this might be the first one that we've actually encountered. And so if you're used to the park connectors and used to the regularity of the bathrooms, I think it's one just to be aware of, that there is a bit of a stretch with that one, especially in that really, really hot bit earlier where there was no shade. Come, what are you doing? Hey, come, we gotta go. He's doing his hair again. You're looking good, buddy. Woo! It's like grown up. It's not your bike. We're just on the hougang Bridge, which is a really beautiful red footbridge, and it's gorgeous and goes over the river. We're crossing the other side of the river to come onto the park connector here. Interestingly, there's a wetlands area over here that used to be a landfill site. So it used to be where trash was put, and now it's got beautiful nature and wildlife on it, and so won't have time to check it out today. We're going to head down this way and head towards Coney Island. So the vegetation on my left has been pretty thick for a while, and we haven't been able to see the river until now, and it's opened out beautifully, and it just made me realise it's a reservoir, which means at some point everything's been cut off because it no longer flows into the sea here, because it's all going to be fresh water instead of salt water, which is fascinating. I know we're crossing over a bridge onto Coney Island, which is where we're going to be able to look at the other side and probably end our journey if we're going to do that here, but we'll be there soon. But here we're still at fresh water to my left, and then beyond it is going to be the sea. There's a guy in the bushes over there filming what looks like the birds that weave their nests, and he was just filming them or taking photos of them. That is the hougang wetlands over there that we haven't ever visited before, and I'm amazed that we haven't, especially now when it's so close to our home. Please expect a video from there soon, because I've got a suspicion it's going to be beautiful, especially if there's someone there who's, you know, kitted out with a massive camera, who's taking the time to get over there. There has to be something decent to see. We are on Coney Island, and we crossed over a little bridge to get us onto here, which actually had some signs saying please don't film, so we didn't film. We just wanted to be respectful. So yeah, it was really interesting because one side is fresh water, the other side is the sea, and it was also interesting because they have tidal gates, and so we were trying to figure out, Milo and I, what they'll be used for, and we think they use it when the water level in the reservoir in the Serangoon River gets too high. They release some of the water out into the sea. That's what we think, but we're not sure. We'll have to do a bit of research. We are walking along the edge, the southern edge I guess it would be, of Coney Island, where the fresh water, like I said, is just to my left, and we're making our way towards Millie and Aspen, who are making their way towards us. I think what they're building over here is a new OBS camp, so Outward Bound Singapore, the outdoor adventure with the young people in the island. We've got a couple of friends who work with OBS, which is pretty cool, and I think that's what they're building here. Some of the things and the activities that they've got going on that I can see look incredible. So OBS, if you're watching this, and if this is you and you want us to test out some of it, let us know. We would love to come in and have some fun on all the apparatus over here. It looks great. Don't know if you saw that, but it looks like a little jetty for some kayaks or something, which would mean you could get some sort of kayaks or paddleboards onto the water of the Serangoon River. That would be amazing. So let's hope, let's watch this space. That would be amazing for me. That's what I've been thinking about doing all day long. But yeah, we're gonna keep going. The sky is beautifully blue, and it is just a gorgeous, gorgeous day. Hey, there they are, powering around the corner, Aspen, on a scooter. So we are walking on the island at the moment, on Coney Island, and amazingly to the left of us you can see this water body and then Singapore main island over there. On the other side of this island is the sea, but what's great about this water here is that it is all a reservoir, it's all fresh water, and we are soon less than a kilometre away from heading towards where this water and the seawater are split apart on the eastern side of the Coney Island, and that is where we're going to finish this video soon, so stick around, a little bit longer to go. Hey, how's it going? All good? All good? What's going on here?
Debbie was very happy to be dropped off at the groomers, and I'm so glad like we were able to come back out here. Like the public transport system is great. Asma just quickly hopped on a bus, hopped on a train. We both scooted on her scooter, which was quite fun together, and yeah, ended up here. It's nice to see the river. Well, I'm sure as Jonty said, like is the sea. Yeah, I love Coney Island. I was just thinking like we're actually only a half-hour cycle now from our place, which is really, really lovely. And yeah, I want to take advantage of living closer to this to be able to come see it. And we were coming along and Asma went, shh. I was like, what? She was like, nature. I was like, oh yeah. And we just stopped and took a minute and just listened, and yeah, it's beautiful.
We've made it. Source to sea from, I don't know, we were that train all the way back there, all the way to here to the sea, and actually we've probably come a little bit further than we needed to because we just wanted to get to the point where just behind us is the sea. As we said, everything's been converted over there to being a reservoir now, which is incredible, and we've learned so much along the way and enjoyed so much along the way too.
Yeah, it's been really, really nice. Aspen and I ducked out for a little bit of it, but I've really enjoyed exploring Singapore through this way.
Yeah.
Like it's just something different. We've got a few friends that say, oh, but we've done everything. But actually,
not this way.
Not this way. But I think yeah, that's the thing. Like it's about the journey as well. Yeah, we've been to Coney Island several times, but actually. Yeah. Getting here and exploring things in a different way and looking at it in a different light, finding out things about the rivers and the reservoirs and all that kind of thing. It's just kind of, yeah, it's been really nice. It's been different. It's been fun.
And we've planned another 4 of these, I think, across Singapore over the next few months, and so we're looking forward to just exploring this country in a way that we haven't yet taken a look at it, and we're thrilled about it. So yeah, please make sure you like, subscribe and join us on the journey every step of the way.
Yep, and we'll catch you soon. Bye.
See you later.